still need to do what's best for me and my family, and that's who you have to take care of first. But of course, there's unfinished business here. Yeah.
Connor McDavid's father, Brian McDavid, finally spoke out. For years, he stayed quiet about the early days of his son's journey, but now he broke his silence. What he said shocked fans, players, and even NHL reporters. It was clear, honest, and full of facts. His words gave everyone a real look into how it all began.
Connor has a long history with doing similar sort of training, small space reactive training. We actually started that when Connor was really young, at home, in our garage and in our driveway, and Joe's program was the evolution of that.
And while Pep...
Brian McDavid was a hockey player in high school. He liked the Boston Bruins. Later, he became a coach. He helped run minor hockey teams in Ontario. He coached his son Connor from the start. For 6 years, he led Connor's teams. They played in York Simcoe. The team won 4 OMHA championships while he was coaching. Connor started skating when he was 3 years old. He played organized hockey at 4. His parents told the league he was 5 so he could join. He often played with older boys. He didn't mind. He liked the challenge. His dad helped train him every day. After school, Connor would do his homework. Then he would go outside and skate. He rollerbladed in the driveway. He shot pucks at a net. He timed himself on drills. He practiced the same things every day. His father said, "Connor is superstitious. We'd have to pass the ball the same number of times. We'd flip it up and bounce it, but if we dropped it, we had to start over again." That was part of his routine. They made a plan. They stuck to it. It was not easy, but it worked. One time, after a loss in a tournament, Connor sat in the car and cried. He said, "Promise me, you have to promise that you will do everything you can to make this team better next year." His dad remembered that day clearly. Connor played with York Simcoe Express. He wore the same jersey for many years. One season, he led the team to a 33-0 record. That year, they lost in a semifinal shootout. Later, they won the OHF Provincial Championship. They also played in the Quebec International Pee Wee Tournament. Connor's teammates included Sam Bennett. Some parents thought Connor got special treatment. Brian said, "Every year, the kids on the team would vote Connor as the captain, and every year, I would give it to someone else." He didn't want anyone to think Connor got things for free. He wanted everything to be fair. He said, "I haven't heard an inkling that he dislikes anything." This helped keep Connor grounded. Brian also coached Connor's older brother, Cameron. He said it was a gift to coach both boys. He wanted them to learn values. He told them to listen more than talk. He said it was important to be humble and kind. He also talked about Connor's hockey sense. He said it wasn't dramatic, but it was different. Connor could read the game better than others, even as a kid. Brian said Connor had a special way of knowing where to be on the ice. By age 14, Connor had won many youth tournaments. At 15, he was granted exceptional status by Hockey Canada. That let him enter the Ontario Hockey League a year early. Only 3 players had received that status before him. He joined the Erie Otters and later became captain of the Edmonton Oilers at 19. His father helped make that possible. He trained him with drills, games, and daily routines. He never forced him, but he made him focus. Brian said coaching was not always easy. Some days were hard, but most days were good. Connor later moved to the Toronto Marlboros. That was in 2011. Brian supported the change. He believed it was time. The Marlboros played in the GTHL. Connor scored 33 goals and 39 assists in 33 games. He was named the league's Player of the Year. Brian kept helping. When Connor faced trouble, he would call and talk to him. That helped. He said, "It's not hard. He's a great kid. My wife and I have 2 wonderful boys." He gave his time, his support, and his patience. He did not speak out in public. But now he has. He broke his silence in 2025. Fans finally heard his voice. They heard the truth about Connor's early years, about the drills, about the crying in the car, about the fairness with other kids, about the pressure. Everything came out. Connor played with focus because of that early training. He reached 100 points in the regular season at just 20 years old. He won the Art Ross Trophy 2 times before turning 21. His father was there for every step. He was not just a coach, he was a guide. Brian's words were not loud, but they were strong. He gave direct quotes. He gave facts. He described habits and memories that no one had heard before. This was the first time fans heard how much effort went into building one of the best hockey players alive. Connor worked hard, but Brian made the space for that work to matter. From ball drills to backyard nets, from car rides to team speeches, every part had a place. Every detail came from facts. Today, fans now know what happened behind the scenes. What Brian McDavid built was not just skill. It was daily structure. It was personal discipline. It was fairness. It was real. This wasn't just a story. It was a reveal, through the words of the man who saw it from day one. For the first time in years, Brian McDavid shared it all, and no one who heard him will forget it.
As you said, yeah, it's only been a couple days since the season ended. Take some time to regroup. Talk to my agent a little bit and family and all that, and make some decisions whenever that time comes. But there's no rush.
Connor McDavid told reporters he wasn't in a rush to talk contracts. Now, weeks later, there's been nothing. With the team in off-season limbo and big names signing elsewhere, McDavid's silence now speaks louder than ever. The Oilers are waiting. The fans are waiting. But the captain still isn't saying anything. McDavid's silence is now a problem. And this silence could change everything for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid is the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. He is one of the best hockey players in the world. McDavid has played his whole NHL career in Edmonton since the team picked him first in the 2015 NHL Draft. His current contract is an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That deal ends in July 2026. Right now, McDavid still has 1 year left on that contract. He will be allowed to sign a new deal starting on July 1st, 2025. If he does not sign, he becomes a free agent in 2026. That means any team in the league could offer him a deal. But so far, McDavid has not said if he will stay or leave. After the Oilers lost in the 2025 Stanley Cup Final to the Florida Panthers, reporters asked McDavid about his future. He answered, "It's only been a couple days since the season ended. I'm going to take some time to regroup, but there's no rush on anything like that." He also said, "If I feel there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That was the last time he spoke about it. McDavid's numbers this season were very strong. He had 74 assists in the regular season. He scored 33 points in 22 playoff games. He had 7 goals and 26 assists. His teammate Leon Draisaitl had the same playoff point total, but McDavid still hasn't said what he will do about his contract. The fans don't know. The team doesn't know. Other NHL teams are now watching closely. Stan Bowman is the general manager of the Oilers. He said, "He's the best player in the league, most important player in the league. He's our captain. He's our leader." Bowman said the team's #1 priority is to keep McDavid. He also said the contract talks will happen when McDavid is ready. But NHL free agency is already moving fast. Teams are signing players. The Oilers have to make choices about who to keep, who to sign, and how to build next season's team. But without knowing what McDavid wants, the team can't plan fully. That has caused a problem. If McDavid leaves, it could be a very big problem. The Oilers have made the playoffs 6 years in a row. They made the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row, but they lost both times. Some sports writers are saying McDavid might not want to wait much longer. If he doesn't think the team can win soon, he could decide to go somewhere else. Leon Draisaitl, McDavid's teammate and top scorer, signed a new deal last year. That deal is for 8 years and $112 million. If McDavid stays, he will likely make even more. Some reports say McDavid could become the highest-paid player in the league. But that would mean the team has less money to spend on other players. If McDavid stays quiet much longer, the Oilers could be forced to trade him. They won't want to lose him in free agency for nothing. That's why some experts are saying the team needs to know soon. One article said McDavid's silence is wrecking the Oilers' free agency plans. Jeff Jackson is the CEO of the Oilers. He also used to be McDavid's agent. He said the next season will help decide everything. The team will wait, but not forever. Other teams, like the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, are already being mentioned as possible new homes for McDavid. Right now, every NHL team is watching. If McDavid doesn't say anything by the start of the season, the rumors will grow. Teams will begin making offers. Fans will keep asking questions. Even McDavid's teammates might start to worry. The Oilers had a record of 48 wins, 29 losses, and 5 overtime losses this past season. That was good enough to make the playoffs. They went all the way to the finals, but lost to the Panthers in 6 games. McDavid led the team in assists and was one of the top playoff performers in the entire league. But now all of that is in the past. The team needs to know what comes next. Free agents are being signed by other teams. The Oilers can't wait forever. And yet, McDavid says nothing. The pressure is building.
You know, I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, I'm just not in a rush that way.
Something big is coming to hockey, and it's not just about one team. On July 1st, Connor McDavid will make a move no one saw coming. That move could change how the best players in the league get paid. It will break a rule that stars have followed for years. What happens next may change the NHL forever.
You know, winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem.
Connor McDavid is one of the best hockey players in the world. He plays for the Edmonton Oilers. He has scored more than 100 points in many seasons. He has won the MVP award 3 times. He led the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. But on July 1st, the big story won't be about goals or assists. It will be about money, contracts, and something much bigger. McDavid signed his last contract in 2017. It was an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That means he has been making $12.5 million every year. This deal ends in 2026. But NHL rules say a player can start talking about a new contract 2 years before the old one ends. So on July 1st, 2025, McDavid will be allowed to sign a new deal. Most top players sign the longest deal possible. That's usually 8 years. It gives them more safety and helps the team plan for a long time. But this time, McDavid is expected to do something very different. Reporters say that McDavid might not want a long contract. Instead, he could ask for a shorter one, maybe just 4 years. Some people even say he could sign for only 2 or 3 years. This is something very few superstars have done. Why would McDavid want a short deal? The answer is the salary cap. The salary cap is the most money a team can spend on its players. This year, the cap is $88 million. Next year, it will go up to $97 million. In a few years, it might go even higher. If McDavid signs a short contract now, he can sign another one later when the cap is much bigger. That means he could make even more money. Other players have done this. Austin Matthews signed a 5-year deal in 2019. In 2023, he signed a 4-year deal. Leon Draisaitl just signed an 8-year deal for $112 million. But McDavid might want something shorter than all of them. Connor McDavid hasn't said much about his plans, but he did say this to NHL.com after the season. "I'm not in a rush to make any decision." He also said, "I need to do what's best for me and my family." These are clues that he is thinking very carefully. The Edmonton Oilers also know what's happening. Their new general manager, Stan Bowman, says he wants to keep McDavid. But McDavid said something important. He said, "If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That means he wants to be sure the team can keep winning. If McDavid signs a short deal, he will be a free agent again in 2029 or 2030. That means other teams will have a chance to try and sign him. Teams like the Maple Leafs, Panthers, Kings, and Flyers might all be watching. If McDavid becomes a free agent, they might try to get him. Experts are saying this could change how NHL contracts work. Sports writer Pierre LeBrun said, "There's a good chance McDavid will sign a shorter deal instead of an 8-year max one." ESPN's Greg Wyshynski said, "It's not just about money. It's about power and timing. Connor McDavid had another amazing season. In 2024 to 2025, he scored 100 points in 67 games. In the playoffs, he scored 33 points in 22 games. That was the most in the league. He was named playoff MVP, even though the Oilers lost in the finals. Because of his great numbers, McDavid is more valuable than ever. If he signs a short deal, he can sign again in a few years for a lot more money. Some people believe he could make over $18 million per year in his next deal. That would be the highest ever in NHL history. This kind of deal gives the player more power. Usually teams like long contracts, but short deals let players choose more often. They can pick better teams or wait for the salary cap to go up. That's why this is such a big deal. Right now, McDavid has a $12.5 million cap hit. If he signs again soon, that number could go way up. If he waits, it might go even higher. And that's why this decision is so important. It affects not just him, but the whole NHL. Some reporters say McDavid may take a deal with only 2 or 3 years. That would give him the chance to test the market again very soon. And if he wins a Stanley Cup in that time, he could leave Edmonton as a free agent and pick any team he wants. Connor McDavid's next contract could change everything. It might change how young players sign their first big deals. It might change how teams plan their future. And it might change how much money top stars can make. This is why so many people are watching July 1st. That's the day McDavid is allowed to start contract talks. If he signs a short deal, other players may copy him. That could mean big changes in the NHL's old contract system. And if McDavid does leave Edmonton in a few years, it could be one of the biggest moves in NHL history. Teams will spend a lot of money to get a player like him. But right now, the Oilers still have a chance to keep him. Whether he signs for 2 years, 4 years, or 8 years, McDavid is changing the game, not just on the ice, but at the contract table. He didn't need to say a lot. Just by thinking about a short deal, he has already made waves across the NHL. On July 1st, the hockey world will be watching because what Connor McDavid chooses to do next might change everything.
Corey Perry is going to is going to the LA Kings. He's going to be signing there. That's interesting for a lot of reasons. His time with Anaheim, his time with Edmonton. He's going back to play for a team that he annoyed for years and years. And also Dan Vladar, late of the Calgary Flames, is going to Philadelphia. That's a 2-year, $3.35 million AAV contract.